Thank you for joining us. This session is part of our ongoing training series designed to support your dealership operations. In this training, we'll walk through how to transfer plate inventory between your dealership locations under the same GDN. It's important to note that you cannot transfer inventory from GDN to GDN. Transfers will only work if it's to one of your locations under the same GDN. Before getting started, here's an important tip to help make this process easier, especially for those completing it for the first time. Dealerships should identify where their inventory is currently located and write down the dealer IDs for each location. This information is required to complete the transfer process. For transfers, two key pieces of information are needed: the dealer ID for the location moving the inventory from, and the dealer ID for the destination location receiving the inventory. To locate the dealer IDs in IMS, navigate to View Inventory in the Inventory dropdown and search by the GDN. When searching by GDN, the system will display a list of all dealer IDs connected to that GDN in IMS. It is strongly recommended to have these dealer IDs on hand before starting a transfer, as it helps prevent errors and speeds up the process. With that preparation done, we'll now move into the step-by-step process of creating the transfer order in IMS. To start a transfer, look at the navigation panel and locate the inventory icon. Click on the inventory icon and a drop-down menu will appear. From that menu, select Transfer Orders. On the next screen, you'll see a button labeled New Transfer Order. Click this button to begin creating your transfer. IMS will automatically generate an order number for you. You'll then need to complete a few steps. First, select the origin facility. This is the location the inventory is coming from. Next, select the destination facility. This is where the inventory will be sent. Keep in mind, the destination facility list will only include locations that have the same GDN or merchant number as your origin facility. For example, if you select a motor vehicle dealership under one GDN, you will not be able to select a different GDN as the destination. After that, you'll want to double check that the shipping address for the destination facility is correct. You also have the option to enter a brief description or add order comments if needed. Once everything is filled out, click on the Items button located at the bottom right of the screen to move on. One quick reminder, IMS uses the address that is on file in the e-licensing system. So if you notice your dealership address is incorrect, you'll need to update it in e-licensing. After the update is made, IMS will automatically pull in the new information. Next, you'll click the Search button to pull up the available inventory for the origin facility. Once you click Search, the available inventory for that facility will be displayed on your screen. To select how many items you want to transfer, you can use the plus and minus icons. You can also type in the quantity directly in the field between those icons. After you've selected the quantities you want to transfer, click the Review button at the bottom right of the screen to move on to the next step. Here are a few helpful tips in case you encounter any issues while transferring inventory. First tip: if you experience timeout errors during your transfer, try making the transfer smaller. This is especially important when transferring large quantities of box inventory. One option is to start by transferring only each or set type inventory first. Next tip is, if you still experience timeout errors, try transferring only one plate type at a time. For example, you could transfer just the passenger general issue, set plates in one transaction. Once that transfer is successful, you can create a separate transfer for a different plate type. Lastly, for boxes transfers specifically, it's recommended to start with smaller quantities, ideally 20 boxes or fewer per transfer. If that still causes errors, reduce it even further by starting with just one box and gradually increasing the amount in each transfer. Now, after you clicked Review, the next screen will show you a summary of your transfer order. This page will show you all the details, including the items you've selected and the quantities being transferred. Once you've reviewed everything and confirmed it's correct, go ahead and click Submit Transfer. If the transfer goes through successfully, you'll see a confirmation message that says, "Your transfer order has been submitted." You'll also see an option to print a receipt with a summary of your transfer order. This part is optional. When you're done, click the Done button to return to the Transfer Orders menu. After submitting the transfer, the next step is to receive the transfer order. The plates will not appear in the destination inventory location until the transfer has been received in IMS. If you ever notice that the plates are missing from the destination inventory, it usually means the order receiving step was not completed. And that wraps up this training. We covered how to initiate and submit a plate inventory transfer in IMS from one dealership location to another under the same GDN. Just remember, once the transfer has been submitted, the inventory cannot be used in Web Dealer until it has been received in IMS. Before we close, I'd like to share a few helpful tips and tricks when it comes to transferring inventory. Double check your destination facility to avoid errors with mismatched GDN numbers. If you don't see a location listed, verify your e-licensing records are up to date. Locate our next training video, which goes over the next step of receiving the transferred inventory in IMS. This can also be found at the top of the Order Receiving page in the Inventory dropdown. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next session.